Is that back? Because I've been dying for that to come back.
Crank it up!
What the? What's
Horns up, metalheads. It's time for another edition of Rockin' Metal Revival. I am he, and we are we, and we're not together still.
Nope, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Could be
Jerry
worse.
in the Hookah Lounge Studios here in the beautiful section of Parts Unknown. We've got this beautiful studio. Weather here in Parts Unknown is a little sketchy.
Sketchy, huh?
Yeah, you never know from one minute to the next.
Is it done with pencil or ink?
Usually it's done with pencil. We don't anything sketchy. We do with pencil.
I was figuring
in Parts
crayon.
Unknown.
I'd figure
Yeah.
you'd sketch in crayon better.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
more your. That's
So
my
hey,
speed.
how's your week going, buddy?
It's going all right, man. Went all right. How about you?
All right, so
That's what
my
it
week's
is.
going okay. You know what I mean? It got a little hot there during the middle of the week. I don't dig that too much, but
Yeah.
otherwise going good. And it was kind of cool to talk to Jack-Russell.
Yeah, it sounded like it. I listened to the interview. Not
You
bad.
know, he for a guy, you know, when you listen to him talk, you think, how the hell is he going to sing? And then when he comes out and sings, man, it is classic Great White.
For sure, man. What a great voice. Still.
Yeah, and this new acoustic album I really dig, and we'll play a couple tracks off it next hour. We've got our News of the Weird. We've got Talking Real Metal. This is pretty much for kids. This is their last week of school, so
man.
this is our final exam this week on Talking Real Metal.
Oh, all right. Well, we better get to work on writing up them questions, I guess, huh?
Exactly. We'll send those out in the mail. Right now, what do you say we kick the show off? Here's a band that I always loved back in the 80s, and I wish Tommy Thayer was still in it. It's Black and Blue.
Oh, no.
This is,
Do you mean
this is
Domino?
nasty. Yeah, nasty kicking off this edition of Rockin' Metal Revival.
You sure it's not Domino from Kiss?
No, I'm positive. There's Fozzy and Painless on Rockin' Metal Revival, and boy, bud, I got we once in a while we get our stories on Blabbermouth when we do an interview.
Yeah.
I was totally shocked this morning when the show prep site for the FM shows we do here on the Hog actually published our the Dave Ellefson
Oh, nice.
stuff.
Cool.
So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, we don't do it for that, but it was kind of cool to be recognized.
Yeah, it's cool when they get glad told of something and say, hey, that was pretty cool. That was informative. Even though
Yeah.
we're doing our best not to be, but...
Ain't that the truth? Yeah, speaking of Fozzy, they were going to be out on tour with our friends in Royal Bliss.
Ooh.
And hopefully they're talking now. They're hoping maybe the fall, and if not the fall, the spring of 2021 for a Fozzy Royal Bliss tour. I'd look forward to that.
Yeah, I'd like to see Fozzy live. That'd be kind of cool. I like
They're
Chris,
a great
Chris
band live,
Jericho.
especially if Jericho's got that lit-up jacket on.
Oh, yeah, man. You see the one? He's got the ones with these huge spikes on them, too, man. It's like, whoa. Be
You
careful.
know, when he first started that band, I thought, oh, this is just a joke. Remember the first album was covers?
Yeah, it was all covers. It was kind of cool. I liked the way they did the covers, but yeah, it was kind of like, this is a flash in the pan. He was just getting it out of his system. But then, hey, it turned into they started doing originals, and they were good. So
Well, that band before it became Fozzy, when it was Stuck Mojo, I always thought it was a good band.
yeah, it was Stuck Mojo and then
Yeah.
once Jericho did the Fozzy thing, then
Yeah.
turned into
What a
that.
great way. Do yourself a favor, check out some Fozzy, because they are more than just a gimmick band. That's a good band. It's a great live band.
Yeah, I got to see him
So
sometime.
looking forward to seeing some live music sooner or later. I know there's some bands now I see that are like getting into warehouses and putting on their full show.
Oh, cool. Putting it
And
on.
you're going to be able to buy, stream it.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if I would pay to watch something like that, but
Yeah.
I guess it's no different than buying a live DVD.
Pretty much, yeah, except you get to see it. It just depends on how good your streaming is. It would suck if it freezes up.
Exactly. With my
I
internet,
paid $15
I don't know, it would be very good.
Yeah, I paid $15 and it froze on the third song.
Well, that would be like, some of the illicit drugs people are doing at this show. So,
yeah,
man,
well, most people, get so drunk they don't remember what they saw anyway. So, if your computer
hey, do you
shut
remember
off,
when he did this? Yeah, that was awesome. Well, he never did it.
Yeah. When that remember when he played that song? Yeah, they didn't play that one.
I can remember a guy I went to high school with one time. He showed up with a T-shirt on from a concert. I said, "How was it?" He goes, "I wish I remembered." And I'm like, "But you still got a T-shirt. That a boy."
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, get them ahead of time, and you're all right.
Yeah, exactly. All right, coming up, we've got News of the Weird. We've got our Talking Real Metal. Next hour, we will talk to the original and, in my opinion, only voice of Great White, Jack-Russell, right here on Rockin' Metal Revival. There's Metallica from Kill 'Em All and Whiplash on Rockin' Metal Revival. Boy, I love that album. Man, that's one of my favorites from Metallica is that Kill 'Em All album.
Definitely a classic, man.
That is a classic. Hey, it is time now for our News of the Weird, and once again, Jerry, pretty easy to find these stories. But we're going to start our first News of the Weird story is across the pond. We're going to go over to Britain.
Uh-oh.
All right? Where a British man has become the butt of 1,000 jokes because his girlfriend accidentally posted a selfie that showed him wiping his butt in the distance behind her. The woman, who's actually named Shannon Butt, how appropriate, posted the smiling selfie on Twitter and was surprised to see a slew of comments that didn't mention her at all. Viewers ignored the so-called beauty in her close-up because they were concentrating on an image of her boy toy known only as Henry in the mirror behind her. Shannon's followers had a lot of questions, including why was Henry wiping while standing up, and why didn't and why he didn't appear to have any toilet paper in his hand. She racked up 70,000 likes, Jerry, in 37 minutes.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Which just goes to show you the taste of the average social media user right there.
Wow.
We haven't had 70,000 likes in 13 years.
Well, I guess we got to take some pictures of ourselves wiping our asses. And
well, that ain't happening.
Try that.
I'm not scaring the kids. I'll tell you that.
Yikes,
All right, this next story comes from Vermont. And seriously, Jerry, I mean, do you ever think of a dill pickle as a weapon?
Not really. No. Can't say that.
Well, there's this guy. He's a 34-year-old guy. His name's Christoph Hermersdorfer from Williamsport, Massachusetts. And on Tuesday, he was in a friend's car driving through Vermont. Well, apparently, he had a, quote, very large pickle. Good for him.
Okay.
And that's not a euphemism. It's actually, he had a big pickle in his hand. And he decided to throw it at a 59-year-old guy from the Vermont Agency of Transportation who was working on the highway.
Oh, well,
Well, the large pickle hit the guy in the back, and according to police, quote, caused him pain.
No
So
kidding,
now Christopher is facing misdemeanor assault charges for smacking a guy with his big pickle.
Well, it's moving out of a moving car. That's got to add some velocity to it. So it's got to. That might have hurt, man. That's not cool.
All right, and that just goes to show you, kids, never smack another person with your pickle.
No,
okay?
Keep your pickle to yourself.
That's right.
If they want it, they'll ask for it.
Yeah, exactly. Don't be going showing everybody your pickle either.
Yeah.
All right, Jerry, there's still a global pandemic going on, and so we need all the ambulances we can get at this time. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, this past Friday, some paramedics in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, stopped their ambulances when they saw a naked guy who seemed to be on meth, who looked like he needed a little help.
Uh-oh.
But when they got out to help him, he jumped in the ambulance and sped off.
He took the nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess there wasn't time for a police chase, though, because he crashed the ambulance into a Portuguese cultural center just a block away.
I was going to say.
Yeah, fortunately, no one was.
Good.
Yeah, I didn't think especially all jacked up on meth.
Yeah, really.
Kept grinding his teeth. Fortunately, no one was hurt except naked guy.
Oh.
He was taken to a hospital where he is still recovering. I would probably think more from the meth than the accident.
Dude, that's some bad stuff, man. Whoa.
Yeah.
You definitely
Kids
don't want to be
don't-
driving on meth, man.
No, and
Not a
naked,
good-
and don't
Yeah.
be stealing ambulances.
Yeah, really. Because they might.
And-
What if they would have had a call and you had to go with them? You
Yeah.
had to drive them and then do.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been
Yeah,
good at
no.
all. Okay, and last but not least,
Your
Jerry, this is a
driver
new
shows up
survey out that right now you should probably buy adult toys more often, not just for variety, but for sanitary purposes.
Okay. Okay,
According
okay.
to a new survey, 41% of people say they buy new adult toys once a year at the most. 12% buy a few every year, and 3% buy them several times a year. 44% of those people, including half of men and more than one-third of women, say they've never bought one.
Yeah.
Those people are liars.
Yeah, somebody's got to be buying them.
Exactly. And
It's usually
wash
those
them.
dolls because you got to replace them after each time. So those,
Yeah,
those
that's a good point.
those
That's a good
expensive
point.
Japanese ones that they use at the soccer thing. Then
Yeah.
as
What is your
audience,
monthly budget on those?
probably about $7,000.
All right, that's going to wind up News of the Weird. Coming up, we've got some Talking Real Metal, and next hour we'll talk to Jack-Russell from Great White right here on Rockin' Metal Revival.
Here's your latest hard rock and metal news on Rockin' Metal Revival.
Horns up, metalheads. It's time once again for another edition of Talking Real Metal.
Yep, wake up, kids.
There we go. That's what I was waiting for, the cowbell.
All these
This
are
is
going to
the
be
fi-
on the quiz.
Yeah, this is the
On
final school edition before we go to our summer school edition of Talking Real Metal.
Yeah, for all you who flunked this test coming up.
Yeah, all you kids listening to pop music.
Yeah.
All right, to start the metal news. What's that?
Ooh, just gives me.
Gives you the kind of a
Yeah.
weird feeling. Okay, we're starting it off. It is official. Motley Crue, Def Leppard, and Poison's the stadium tour has been postponed to the summer of 2021. Now, Jerry, my question to you is, are you going to get a refund, or are you going to just hold your tickets for next year?
Probably neither, because I wouldn't spend money on that show to begin with. But I'm just interested to see. I'm glad for Vince's sake he's got a whole year to get into shape. So he's just going to have no excuse.
No, none. No, exactly. Access TV to air all 3 seasons of Ozzy and Jack's World Detour in July. I love that show.
I know you do. That's why I was like, oh, we got to put that in the news. So yeah, that's cool.
I do. I think that show's great. You know, it shows Ozzy being a real human being. You know what I mean?
Yep, just being a dad, going and checking out stuff.
Exactly. Scott Ian doesn't rule out special Anthrax shows featuring Joey Belladonna, John Bush, and Neil Turbin.
That would be cool.
That would be worth the price of a ticket right there.
Definitely. I'd go.
SpaceX astronauts listened to AC/DC's Back in Black during historic launch.
Yeah, right before it took off, they were listening to Back in Black. That's kind of cool. Did you watch
That's
it?
very cool.
I watched it. I thought it was kind of cool. I was waiting, hoping they'd make it. That was pretty slick. Pretty slick rocket they came up with.
I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I said, you know what? The last space launch I watched was the Challenger.
Ooh.
And I go, and so I think I'm going to watch this one. I haven't seen one since I was a kid that went right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, this is sad news in the world of rock. Veteran session guitarist and producer Bob Kulick passed away at the age of 70, and want to send condolences out to Bruce Kulick, who's been on Rock and Metal Revival many times.
Yes. Good friend
Even
of
Bob
the show.
was on Rock and Metal Revival once.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Rush's Alex Lifeson hasn't felt inspired and motivated to play after the death of Neil Peart. He said it's been difficult.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's going to take a while. Yeah. Give him a couple years and see if, he
I don't
gets the itch.
think that. You know what? I think I don't know if those two will ever play again together. Geddy Lee and it maybe. I don't know. I don't
They're
see it.
such good friends. I can't see how they couldn't if they just